want to have a government of national unity?
Let me say, we are not just political animals. We are also constitutional animals, legal animals, law-abiding citizens. The same constitution that took us to the Constitutional Court is the same constitution that gives us the right to demonstrate. It's actually a constitutional right, which we have not exercised over the past few days on account of examining and executing the constitutional route. Now that that door is shut, there are many other doors. That Section 59 door of political protest is just one of them. Peaceful protest. We know that there's the temptation by ZANU-PF to come and then start to cause violence when we call for peaceful demonstration. We want to deal with that challenge so that when we go into demonstrations, it is entirely controlled by ourselves. So that will be sorted out. I hope that answers your first question. The second one, in terms of political dialogue, we wrote to President Mnangagwa before the elections because we anticipated the tendency and the disposition to want to cheat when there is rejection. And this is what they've repeated. We didn't want to be where we are right now. That's why we had written to President Mnangagwa before elections to have a political dialogue on the issues. And the issues we raised are the ones that are in dispute right now. We raised the issue of the role of traditional leaders. We raised the issue of a disputed voters' roll. We raised the issue of the independence of the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission. Nobody doubts that the ZEC Commissioner, Chigumba, and team, most of them are blatantly and brazenly partisan. It's a fact. They may want to refuse it, but they can't even liberate themselves from their parent party. And that issue is also part of the court papers, but we don't want to re-argue our matter. So those issues we had raised continue to rear an ugly head. I've written to President Mnangagwa. He has not responded. The earliest in response I have seen from President Mnangagwa is a tweet handle, which I'm not so sure if it is his, which was saying that my arms are open for Chamisa. I don't know which arms. So I don't want to end up being embarrassed instead of being embraced by arms that I do not know. I requested him to have a meeting. He has not responded. And the meeting is not to discuss anything, but to discuss legitimate issues, to discuss all the disputed issues around free and fair elections, so that the country is able to move forward. There has to be dialogue. There has to be working together. This is why we wrote to SADC. We did not get any response from SADC. We did not get any response from the AU, and we still await that response. I hope President Ramaphosa will also respond to us. He has not responded. President Genkop is the one who is now the SADC chair of the responsible body. And we are hoping that he will be able to then attend to our issues. But dialogue is a good thing for Zimbabwe. But let it be dialogue on legitimacy, let it be dialogue on the rule of law, dialogue on observing of human rights. Our people are being subjected to abuses. Senior leaders have been dragged to court for no apparent reason. Leaders in the provinces are being persecuted. I, for one, everywhere I go, they have these unmarked cars, and men who are putting on balaclavas. Why they were doing that, I don't know. And they think that perhaps they will intimidate people like myself. But I'm dead already. By merely challenging a dictatorship, you have signed a death warrant. So they can't kill me twice. We are very clear, and we are not going to be intimidated. That's why we are ready for any eventuality. They can't run a country by terror and sustain by terrorism. It's not possible.
So just a question on national unity. You did not answer that. A government of national unity. Is that one of the options?
I thought you were talking about dialogue. I didn't hear you to say.
I mentioned national unity. Is that one of the options?
Well, look, we don't want to put the cart before the horse. Like we have said, let it be a national discussion and dialogue on the basis of the truth. But you can't rob me of my goats and then you say, let's share those goats. Let's first have a restitution, each for each, then we can start to talk. Even if you do not have goats, you want to share mine. Let's share them, but on the basis of the truth. Not to take my gods and you say, no, we have equal gods, so we must work together. Fiction and deception is not going to save this country. And this is the message we are having to the international community. We want to thank the international community, in particular the United States of America, for their consistent position on free and fair elections. The European Union for their position on free and fair elections. And other international bodies that have continued to emphasize that we need free and fair elections in this country. We have not seen those free and fair elections. And we hope that they will continue to help the people of Zimbabwe to secure a legitimate outcome, to secure the endorsement of the will of the people.